Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 26 of the Friggin Nerds podcast. I am your host, Mario Lima, joined by the Friggin Nerds crew. We got all the way from Nashville, Tennessee in their Christmas attire. You guys are looking great with the Christmas tree behind you guys. It's like a new house.
Hey, yeah, this is literally just a foot turn from where we normally sit, but you get to see our Christmas tree.
Beautiful.
Christmas tree number one.
Yes.
Love it. Then, of course, the next one down there, we got the lovely Lee Dumas.
Hello.
Hey. And last but certainly not least, yes, there's more. If you guys don't know already, which you should already, it's probably out there already. If you haven't checked out our Spider-Man trailer review, it was his first job on Friggin Nerds Media, welcoming for the first time on the podcast as a host, James Whitehead. What's happening, brother?
Yo, what is up, Friggin Nerd crew and the Friggin Nerd fandom? What's good?
Like, good. How's it feel to be on the other side?
Oh, man, it feels weird. It feels a lot more responsibility. Usually I just chime in during the Twitch stream and just like, well, I think I like this, so this would be cool. But now I got to actually have notes and come in all professional, so
Yeah,
see
you
what
actually.
happens.
You know what they say, right? With great power.
Comes a great responsibility.
Still
Lee
not said
dropping
in the new Spider-Man trilogy yet. Still
Yeah,
hasn't
not
been
yet.
said, so.
But
Let's see
it
what
but it
happens.
might. A lot of surprises with that. So again, guys, you haven't checked it out yet. YouTube.com/Friggin Nerds Media. Our reaction to the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. It's a doozy. Go check that out.
It's a doozy. We're coming right out of that. Like, we just recorded that. So
Just-
now we're
yeah.
like,
No spoilers, but can y'all believe Thanos was in it? That threw me. But everybody already knows about that by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird recording in the future. Like, you guys are hearing this hopefully on Thursday when it comes out. We record this on Tuesday night. It's coming out. The video's coming out on Wednesday. Podcast coming out Thursday. We're in a whole time loop. It's ridiculous.
So much content.
Content.
Day one, we're going to get so
Listen,
much.
James, I was thinking your new catchphrase should be the latest and greatest in nerdy news content.
oh.
I like it.
There we
I like
go.
it. That's what we got to do now.
But as you guys know, this is the Friggin Nerds podcast. Every week we bring you guys the nerdy news you love. We're going to start off with a couple of housekeeping items, which we kind of talked about in the last episode. We have a new podcast schedule moving live to once a month. We're going to record the first Tuesday of every month, and we might change that up with holidays and stuff. With Christmas coming up, the Berkeys got to do a Christmas episode, so we got to do it. So, so that'll still be happening. We'll still be having the shows coming out on Thursdays on your Spotify's, on your Googles, all that good stuff. So be sure to check out our YouTubes and Twitch VODs for all the other content. We're still gonna be doing crafts and cocktails, D&D, all that good stuff. Another piece of news: the Nonsense Draft season 2. We decided to end it. We ended it. It's a wrap. Meaning. My goodness, she did it. Britt is the season 2 winner of the draft.
Let's go.
It's not often that I win any popularity contest, but damn it, Mom, I did it.
Finally,
Look at me, Mom.
Oh, well, don't
Ballin'.
forget who won season 1 of the draft.
True.
Yeah,
Well,
that's completely normal.
That's all of the champions are in this square right here.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
interesting.
So we gotta get the trophy out the Berkey's house.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, now we got a fifth rider here on the draft, so it could be very interesting.
That's right.
It could get nuts, but nonetheless, it's going to be a fun one. Last bit here, swear jar giveaway, man. We've been talking about these swear jars. We're finally going to be giving out the winner. I think we're ending it on December 7th, so that'll be a live show for the podcast. We're going to do a whole giveaway thing. We'll probably have something up to help get entries beforehand. So the only requirements to enter that giveaway for the sweet moolah is participate in the live stream chat, You guys can get entries by following, if you haven't already, subscriptions, gifted subscriptions, and I think that's about it. To get
Yep,
all
and
your...
it's 1,000 channel points will get you a bonus entry as well. So if you pop that bonus,
Save up those points.
1,000 channel points.
Yeah, so keep them going. It's kind of like when we did the extra live stream. If you guys were there, people were pumping out those $5 donations and getting those entries for those game codes and those necklaces and then those Pokemon cards. So join us for that if you want to win some moolah. Speaking of the swear jar, we got to go into our swear jar of the week. We're up to about $39.
That's so sad.
That
Y'all
is
need
sad.
to get your filthy mouths.
I thought that we had more than that.
No, up to 39.
That's it?
Yeah.
No. Yep. And
That's
I
wild.
think I saw on the last notes that we had about 34 or something, and I was like, I'm just gonna throw a couple extra dollars in here because I feel like it should be closer to 40 at least. So
What are y'all saying? Oh my gosh.
Well, I think we might round it out to a nice 40 at least today, because the word of the day that we cannot say for the rest of the show is announce. That means all variations of the word. Announce, announcement, announcing.
announced.
Duh.
Yep.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough one because I'm sure every paragraph of the news has that word like in the first sentence.
Yeah.
So after this sentence, you cannot say the word announce for the rest of the show. So moving on,
Ooh.
let's get into one of our favorite little discussion / games. It's called Versus. Every week we take two iconic fandom characters and pit them against each other and debate who would win in this battle. Today we got a very quick, fast barn burner here.
Hey.
Nice.
That joke's already starting, baby. We
That's
got
good.
the very quick Makari from Eternals versus DC's own Flash.
Ooh.
Two.
And I love that we kind of have like a DC Marvel mashup here because we are bringing
See,
in
it
James.
feels appropriate with
Yes.
our new friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
For
is
those
a
maybe new listeners, we're very much Marvel centric, and then James comes in with a lot of DC.
We can finally talk DC.
I'm here to shake things up a bit. So, this is what you're going to be getting.
Let's go.
It feels like appropriate timing because if you guys noticed in Eternals, there were like 2 or 3 separate occasions in that movie where they referenced DC.
Yes.
So a Marvel movie referencing DC, it's almost like
It's canon.
This was foreseen by Father Feige that we would be bringing James into
Yes.
the fold.
Father Feige planned that.
It's all, is it,
Our Lord and
is it
Savior.
destiny, free will?
I think.
We will see how the podcast goes first.
Oh
What
man.
an answer.
Oh,
For this though, like this matchup between the two, and I said this before we started recording. I don't know how much I can really dive into this, not feeling super confident about my knowledge of Flash. And Micah would kill me, our son, because he is all in on Flash. He's a huge Flash fan.
He's like a tiny James.
Yes, he is.
Everything James does, he's like, that's so cool.
Yes.
That's right. Naruto and everything. I forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
But because of the recency bias, and because Makari's scenes were just so awesome in the Eternals movie, I'm just throwing my hat in and just going all in on Marvel side. Makari is the answer.
Wow. Off the jump. Oh my gosh.
interesting. Let's see. What I'm gonna
I think the immortality, dude. Like the immortality factor.
mortality. Mm-hmm. Who are you thinking, Lee?
I'm also thinking Makari because of the immortality factor.
that-
They're both
Yes.
so
Oh,
similar.
then me and James got to have a discussion then, because it looks
Yes.
like James. I want
Yes.
as the new host of the show, I want you to start off on this. Give me your argument here.
Okay. Makari is definitely one of like the fastest cats in the MCU and obviously in Marvel Comics. But it's hands down the Flash. Like it's no comparison at all. You literally have a character, particularly Barry Allen, who outran death.
Oh.
Outran
See, this
death.
That knowledge is useful.
Did he have
before I
an
make-
invisibility cloak though? Because I feel like that's not fair.
No, so it was in what was it? Grant Morrison's Final Crisis. I can't remember which part, but like everybody dies, but Flash literally outruns death like the entire time. And I forgot how long he's running, but he's running for a long time until everything gets resolved. So, and if we're going off of the silver screen or even the big screen, the Flash from Justice League Snyder Cut literally reversed time.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Micah has told me about that multiple times.
Yes. So my thing is, if they're in a fight, yes, Makari is eternal, like immortal. But we also saw Eternals dying in the movie, so they can be killed. That being said, Makari can't hit what she can't see, and you have a speedster who is that fast, literally outrunning time and reversing time, while outrunning death and reversing time. Flash hands down, and I won't even get into the multiple types of attacks he has just using his super speed. So yeah, Flash, like, it's not even competition. There's a reason they call them gods. It's comic called Injustice Gods Among Us, referencing the Justice League, and Flash is a big part of that.
I'm going to take a note right here to let James answer questions before I answer them, so I can just be like, yep, Flash.
James actually got all of my points, so there's nothing else I can say. I was only letting him go first because it was his first podcast.
I'm new, yeah.
So
Thank you, guys.
it's weird because like that was every one of my thoughts. That's what I thought
We're
too.
just on the same wavelength.
Oh man.
That's all right. Lee and I will keep on Makari's train. We're on Makari's
Yeah.
side.
Listen, and not for nothing, but she's kind of a badass, and she's a woman. So, like, right there, that's
And
That's right up your alley.
We've got
That's
a
right up my
spot
alley.
for those
I
that
liked
sign.
her.
And,
Yeah. She did sign
and I love the
language.
actress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
She's
had a
deaf.
sweet leather
That actress is
jacket that I
deaf. You
really
guys know
like.
that, right?
Yeah.
She's like actually, she was on The Walking Dead, and she's actually deaf. Like, she's a deaf
Right.
actress.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
I think
cool.
that's super duper cool that they like were so inclusive with that in this role, because I'm pretty sure that in the comics, correct me if I'm wrong, James, is Makari deaf in the comics? Does anyone know?
No.
I don't think so.
They
So
added that.
I think that's really cool of them, for sure.
But this is a fight, though.
This is a fight. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a fight.
It is
So-
a fight, but I'm just saying, she held her own. She held her own in a fight.
Mario, what you got?
Yeah, so like I'm kind of in that same thing too, where it's like I grew up with the Flash. I love the Flash. I love the story of the Flash. Like like even the TV show when it came out on CW, even the old TV show. You guys remember the old TV show?
Yeah,
Like, oh my
yeah.
god! Like I used to love that so much. Just the story of Barry Allen and just like. Almost kind of like the Spider-Man of DC in a way, where it's like you had that rich backstory of like dealing with his mother passing away and his father being accused of it and all that, and he's also a superhero and all that, so he's trying to deal with that. Real realistic kind of story you kind of connect with, a character you can connect with, which I always loved Superman, but I could never connect with Superman.
Right.
So that aspect, yes, I think Flash is the best. Fighting wise, it's kind of a toss up. Flash does have some great powers there. I mean, the dude time travels, for God's sakes. He can go to different realities with just running. It's really tough. So yeah, James already kind of touched on a lot of great details on that. But I think I gotta say, just for the love of it, I think much respect to Makari, awesome character, but I gotta give it to the Flash as well.
Okay.
So how
all
many
right.
is that? How many is that?
That's 2 Makari, 3 Flash.
Yeah, so
What's great is we can't have a tie now.
Yeah.
So this is amazing.
True.
Yeah.
That's
This is
true.
That is true.
till we get somebody else, then we'll have another tie.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So Flash.
I would
won
love
that
to hear
battle.
what
All
the audience thinks for
Flash
sure.
battle.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the comments, let us
Yeah,
know.
if
who
you,
won,
yeah, wherever you
in
guys
your
are
opinion.
listening, hit us up on Twitter, Discord, all that. Let us know
Yeah.
who would you think would win, Makari or Flash. But moving on, speaking of Makari, man, the court's in session, man. Eternals was upon us a few weeks ago. Feels like forever ago. The Eternals has come out. We all have kind of mixed reviews on it, I believe. We hadn't really gotten too much into detail with it. So we're going to give you guys our first reactions of the Eternals. Talk about what worked, what didn't work, the impact on the MCU in the future, and of course give you guys some ratings. So let's start up. Who wants to start up on the Eternals?
Let's let the guys go first.
Let's let the guys go first.
Not
Guys
you
go
guys.
first?
Not
I
me?
meant the bottom guys.
Oh, I'm not a guy? Is that what's being said?
Who are the
guys.
bottom
Those
guys?
guys. Mario
Those
and James.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are on the bottom of your screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm like, you guys are the bottom guys for me. So
Oh.
Yeah, so we're all bottom
Well,
guys.
and Lee too. I just know. Maybe Lee and Mario go first because I know they liked it the least.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear the hotness.
Let's hear the bad.
All right.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's Lee go first. You go first.
okay, I'll go
We're
first.
passing this. We're passing this.
I got a lot.
so-
I got a lot.
Here's the. I'll just give my brief because I know I'm not the one. You know, my opinion isn't as honestly like I'm not as big a fan as the rest of you guys. So I don't feel like my opinion is necessarily as valid. But I have a really hard time following like storylines that have brand new characters that don't all get equal screen time, that are all like not as well fleshed out. Like I just have a really hard time, I don't know, like with a lot of things happening all at the same time that are all brand new, and I didn't have captions, like closed captions like I've been watching at home. So it
Isn't
was really
crazy?
hard.
Like we started doing captions when we had Willa to try to stay quiet while we watch movies and stuff. But like now I'm so dependent on those captions.
Right?
Like, what'd you say?
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Shang-Chi felt
Right?
like a different movie the other night, man. When we were watching
I'm
it, we were
saying
like,
because
wow.
you missed so much auditorily that like the captions clearly spell out like what's going on,
Yeah.
and like I just felt like I don't know. I think it's also part auditory processing disorder. So like when I'm getting all this new information and not a lot of visual cues, it's really hard to retain stuff for me. So I think that added to like I just didn't feel a connection with the characters. It's a much more serious movie. With a lot of the characters, I should say. I shouldn't say all of the characters. There were a couple of my favorites. But one of my favorites, I don't want to spoil it, but like one of my favorites ends up not being in a lot of the movie. And I was like kind of upset by that because I was like, this is literally one of my favorite people that I was watching. Come on. And I mean, I just feel like I didn't feel that connection. And like with Shang-Chi, so yeah, it's all brand new characters, right? But there's like one central plot. There's like one central set of characters, and they were all very, very lovable. They all had their quirks. They all had, you know, there was a lot of funny in it. This movie didn't have as much funny. I don't know. There was something about it that didn't sit quite right with me, and I think it had to do with the lack of familiarity and the amount of new information, and then the character development to me didn't feel as full. But that's
Gotcha.
my opinion.
Mario, let's hear you, brother.
All right, so with me, okay, so I'll get out a lot of the pros for sure. Like I think it's a beautiful picture, man. It's a beautiful movie. The way it looks is just phenomenal, epic, just crazy. You know, definitely. I would like to see it in IMAX. We saw it in standard, but I do want to check it out in IMAX. See that big ship come in.
it's a big difference.
Yeah,
It's a big
see
difference.
Beautiful.
It was the visuals were, I'm sure, a lot more improved, but the sound quality is what like made me so much like so impressed with the IMAX experience. Was
Agreed.
the sound. Yep.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so like stuff like that, I fell in love with. I thought the cast is great. I mean, you can't go wrong with the cast. I mean, great to see Angelina Jolie. I'll still have a crush on her for the rest of my life, man. She is perfect. So yeah, so I think the cast is great. You know, it did have its humor, but it didn't feel like a Marvel movie, and it did, which I don't know if that like hurt it or was a good thing. It did something different. It, you know, it kind of like, you know, brought you into like, if you're not a big Marvel fan, it's a great movie to see. If you're a diehard Marvel fan, you're seeing some great things. I mean, you get to see, like, my goodness, the things you got to see in this movie, like the size of the Celestials. Oh my God! Like, just like we've only seen those in comic books and like just pictures. And like, I want to see what that looks like in real life, and you got to see that. So I think visually, it's stunning. It's a great movie. So I just had issues with a couple of like pacing things. You know, it is a pretty long film. It was close to 3 hours, right? Like a little under.
It was like 240 almost.
240, yeah. So I think it is tough. You know, it's tough to introduce 4 characters, but to introduce 10 characters and get you that kind of backstory with all of them, it is tough to make you like want to like, you know, connect with any of them. You know, it kind of has that Rogue One feel where it's like when you're watching Rogue One, you're not going to connect with any of these characters because you know what's going to happen to them at the end. Granted, these guys aren't gone. But yeah, it just I want to spend more time with those characters, you know, just like really kind of hang out with them, get to know them better, but I'm sure we will in the future.
Yeah, I think that's coming.
Yeah, so I'm sure we're gonna get it. So that's like one of my main gripes. So it was that, and we had those. I forget what was the deviant that was kind of developing and getting his own like mind. I forgot what his name was.
I forgot it. Yeah,
but
I don't know his name.
He was voiced by what's his name? He played Pennywise. Yeah.
Is it Crow?
Yeah.
Crow is
Crow,
the deviant's
yeah.
name. Yeah.
That sounds right. I was just hoping that we were going to do more with that. You know, like I'm not sure. Like I'm gonna.
I will say this.
It's in the comics, Crow and Angelina Jolie.
They're together.
They have a special
Mario,
relationship.
I know. I think Micah was in the same boat. I keep mentioning Micah. We should bring him on. But Micah turned to me towards the end of the movie and said the same exact thing that you just said about Crow. So
yeah, I feel like there should have been more there. The way he kind of got iced there in the cave, or you know, I thought they were going somewhere else.
We're doing spoilers.
Oh
yes,
doing
spoilers.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because I was about to say when Athena like cut him just in half.
Mario can always
issues.
Edit in a spoiler.
Yeah. Like Micah turned to me and was like, "Are you serious? That was it?" Like he was expecting some like I think more epic moment between the two of them specifically, but
yeah, because he's but he was, you know, it's a cool character design there as well, and like but yeah, I was hoping for more there. Just the way it kind of resolved. You know, I liked how they kind of made Icarus the kind of heel in this, but I wish they did it earlier so you can kind of really marinate on it. Yeah, like when it happened. I mean, that's like one of the highlights of the movie when you see him push Salma Hayek off the cliff. There, you're like, oh my God, heel turn, brother! Like I'm loving this. But and like you like that because it's kind of like Justice League where like they got the Justice League has to fight Superman. That's terrifying, and so you have to see all this happening. So all in all, man, I think it's a fine picture. I think it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely important in the whole scope of the Marvel world for sure. And I'm sure we're gonna get some cool things, some better connections, and some more time with these characters. So that's all I'll say on that note.
Do we want to pass it to James first?
James, yeah. Okay. What'd you think, James?
I don't know if I've even talked to you guys about my thoughts on this, but okay. First, I'll start with what worked for me, and I think Mario hit on a couple of those. Just gorgeously shot. The cinematography. A lot of the shots were on location, which is kind of different for an MCU film. They used a lot of green screen because of the foes they usually have to fight and stuff and what they want to add. So it being on location kind of added to the beauty of the shot. The action, I think, was like real good to see when they had it. A lot of the scenes with the deviants were so cool, especially when the Eternals first got onto Earth and they were fighting them. That was cool to see their powers working and seeing their individualities with their powers and how it works. And even in the jungle scene and even later on fighting Icarus. So I love seeing the action when we had it. It wasn't that much of it, but when it was there, it worked for me. But the most important thing to me was the Celestials. Like, by far, that's the only thing I cared about coming into this because of what it meant for the MCU. I'm a huge fan of the Marvel cosmic hierarchy, and them leaving Earth is what I have been waiting for because there is so much more, especially for Marvel in general, out there, and you're introducing the Celestials, which means we'll get more into Galactus, which ties into the Celestials, which more into Eternity and the Living Tribunal and the In-Betweener and all of these cosmic hierarchy characters. So that's what got me going with this movie, especially because it felt like a creation story, like in the Bible or even the Silmarillion for Tolkien, if you're a fan of his. So I loved that aspect, and I think Chloe Zhao like kind of nailed that. What didn't work, and I ship Druig and Makari, but
Yes.
what didn't work for me was the Eternals themselves as a group. You have a point of reference in the MCU, the Avengers, even the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can even say Loki and Thor as a group, and so forth and so on. I mean, even Peter Parker and his friends. And the group dynamic works so well in those I just mentioned, but I didn't feel like it worked that well with the Eternals. And I wasn't really involved with them as I am with the other cats. Now you can say, hey, you've had more time with them, but this is the standard I think that MCU has set. And so I don't think they got the group dynamic as well done as they have in the past. Maybe that's because they're Eternals and they're just supposed to be passive. I don't know, but I felt like that didn't work for me. The Deviants also, I wish we had more time with them because the Deviant and Eternals war is huge in the comics. Huge. And I wish they touched more on that instead of what they ended up doing, whether it's with the love story between Cersei, Dane, and Icarus, or anybody else. So, and I was a fan of the characters who didn't get that much screen time, as Lee mentioned. My favorite ones, honestly, was Druig, Makari, and who was it? I'm trying to think. Wait, let me go in my notes right
Kingo?
quick.
Because Kingo was up there for me.
Kango was good, but I have a big gripe with Kango.
Kingo and his buddy.
Oh, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was
Gilgamesh
my
was
other
Gilgamesh
one.
was my favorite.
Yes, those are my favorite, and I feel like they didn't get any screen time. Cersei didn't. I didn't feel Druig's scene in the pyramids, I want to say, or when they before they split,
Yeah.
and he's arguing with them.
Yeah.
He felt more of a character who cared about the humanity in that scene alone than Cersei did the entire movie. And she's supposed to be our main character. And so I think just the small scenes with Druig, he nailed it more so than anybody else. Makari killed it. Gilgamesh, like I felt attached to him, even though I didn't see him that much because he was taking care of Thea. So like, I love Fastos. He was cool, but like, I didn't understand him turning on humanity after the atom bomb and then finding love, but then loving it. But like, and even Kango, I loved him as a character, but he left.
Yeah, I know.
I think he had the most connection between him and Fastos, had the most connection to humanity than anybody else because he made movies for people and had generations of it. So like him not being at the end, even though he didn't want to find his family, did not make sense to me at all. So out of those things, like, yeah, that's what didn't work for me.
Gotcha. Britt, do you want me to go first? Because I feel like you've got a lot to say.
I don't have a lot to say.
You don't have a lot to say. Okay.
No, but I think we're kind of like on the same
We're on the
page
same
about
page.
basically everything.
I think what worked, echoing a lot of what worked for everybody else, was the scale, introducing the cosmic, jumping more into the cosmic side of things. We kind of got some hints with Guardians and things in the past. We got really far into some stuff with Loki, with the timelines and stuff. But now we're starting to jump.
We're there.
straight
I'm
in.
gonna really struggle, even more than before. I'm gonna struggle to care anything about the storyline
Captain
with
America.
Yelena,
Yeah.
Falcon,
Oh,
Winter
Yelena.
Soldier.
Oh my
It
gosh.
just feels so small.
Oh my gosh.
now.
And I forgot to mention, one of the things I didn't like was the end credit scene with Dane Whitman. Because I don't care. I don't care about I don't care. We went cosmic right now. We went
because
cosmic.
we went cosmic.
That makes
I
sense.
can
I
understand that.
Yeah, and now we're back to Earth. No, we're out. No,
But see,
focus on that.
Marvel's kind of dipping into both sides. You know, they're dipping into the cosmic. They're jumping into it. It's hard to see that scene. I agree. Yeah, I can see that. It's hard to see that scene after what we just saw with
Exactly.
a giant celestial.
Yeah.
Sticking out of Earth.
It's it's making the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier look like
Yes. Who cares?
like
Got
that's
we got the
over.
store-bought cake though. We got the
I
store-bought
was
cake.
about to say, if Jon Snow brings a store bought cake at the end, would it change things? Because it would for me.
It'll be a battle
It
of the
probably
cakes.
would.
It'll be like the cake boss. Like they're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think because they've dipped in, there's so much. They're anchored in so much to now, especially since they're going celestial or cosmic. They're anchored in so much on both sides. I feel like they needed to have that end credit scene with Dean Whitman to be like, hey, remember,
don't
Like,
forget.
bring you back
Yeah.
home.
we still have this
Yeah.
character that connects to this celestial or this eternal.
Yeah.
That I kind of agree with what you're saying about Cersei. More that you talked, I was kind of like, I wasn't like super like connected with Cersei as much as I was with the rest of the crew.
Right.
Like I felt more connected with Icarus than I did
Right,
with
right.
Cersei.
Well, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I would have assumed that was me because I always connect with the bad guys.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, the reason that they aren't liked, I'm like, relatable. Like, those are the ones that I usually will relate to. So usually,
Yeah.
it's not ever like the hero that I find anything in common with.
But I could see that could be the reasoning is they wanted to, they had the mid-credit scene that's still on the cosmic side, and then they're
Right.
like, oh yeah, we still have all this stuff we're about to do with the Black Knight and Blade, coming in and stuff. So, but yeah, it is to the point where it's like, what are they gonna do though? Compared to like what we just saw with these giant.
I mean, they're saving it probably for the TV shows because it seems like all the MCU TV shows are like Earth-based except like Loki or what if, but it seems everything else is more so Earth-based.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it is. They're setting it up, but who knows?
Yeah. So I'm gonna echo a lot of what they said, but do you want to throw in anything?
I feel like something that I keep hearing, like a critical review of the movie over and over again, is just like it was too much. Like it was too much to take in. Felt like super overwhelming, and like leading up to the whole cosmic side of the MCU, people have been like, well, then why does any of the rest of this even matter? And so, okay, stick with me. This is going to come back around. I remember in college when I had to take like an astrology course or whatever. And I thought I was really going to like this astrology course because I'm like, oh, stars, lovely. And then like the first class, we go into like this whole thing. Like the professor basically puts us in our place in the universe, right? He's like, this is how tiny you are. Like, this is basically how insignificant you are. I remember literally, like, going home and having a panic attack. I was like, oh, gosh, this is so overwhelming. Like, I felt like the weight of how tiny I was, like, weighing on me. I literally, I withdrew from the course.
Wow.
I never completed college astronomy because I like could not handle like that overwhelming pressure of how small I was. And that's how I wanted this movie to feel.
Yes.
And it's how it made me feel.
Yes.
Like it was just like, there's so many people that I don't know. And there's so much about this universe that I don't know. And then you have the
Yes.
crawler in the beginning, which is supposed
Yes.
to lay out our creation story, which then you find out that's a lie too.
Yes.
So it's like
Yep.
you like end the movie with like,
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
nothing.
You-
I thought I was important, and I'm not. I'm this like the
think-
size of like a freckle on
Right.
the Celestial's face, man. I
think it's-
liked that feeling of like because
Yes.
there's so much rewatchability in that. I'm like,
Yes.
100%.
I have so much now to digest.
I think it's realizing too that this is like I feel like the springboard, but maybe even right before the springboard, it's like you're jumping onto the trampoline, you're still about to like bounce into the cosmic stuff. Like this was the start, and so like the resolution at the end of it making you feel like that, I think is purposeful. I think the like the scale and all that, I think is purposeful.
This
in
is
the
your
saying.
hold on to your butts moment.
Yeah, you thought you
Yeah.
knew, you had no idea type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I loved that. Though what I did not like was the deviants. There's obviously this theme of evolution runs throughout the whole movie, and so I understand why they put that like part of the deviant story in there that like Crow was evolving and maybe the other deviants were. I understand why.
Right.
But it felt like that belonged in the second movie
Right.
because it had so
Exactly.
much potential to have more. And maybe it will.
That's a
But I'm
really good
like,
point. Like-
why not just maybe shift that over to the second completely? Because it just didn't. You didn't have time to get into that because
Yeah.
there was so much else happening.
Well, because like Crow's death scene, does that mean now that are we going to see deviants again?
Right.
Like they could have just not done that and left a sort of a cliffhanger with Crow and left that open for
What
for
I
deviants.
started feeling like, which this is what it's supposed to question, like, are we doing the right thing? Like,
Right.
do you know anything? That's the whole point of the movie. But as I was like watching Crow, I was like, maybe I hate the Eternals. And
No,
I feel bad for the
yep.
deviants.
Yes.
And
yes.
but then it was just over and he died. And I was like,
Yeah.
so am I not supposed to feel bad for like I'm a little confused.
Like the
that
Eternals
was
were
really
the bad
sad.
guys. They were
Yeah.
the bad guys. Like usually you get that aspect with anti-heroes, but like usually with anti-heroes, there's some persona or like gravitas, like a Deadpool or somebody like that, even
Right,
a
right,
Wolverine. And there's none of that with the Eternals. They're just like, well, we were created and we were lied to, and okay.
Well, and even they're questioning it. Like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, did we do the right thing here?
Yeah.
Like, did that happen? The Kingo thing. That's another thing I've heard a lot. Is like, I can't believe that they just had him walk out. But I feel like that was the most human and relatable thing that I've seen in any of these
Yeah.
Marvel films.
Mm.
Because in a superhero movie, it's all about taking sides. Like, they're gonna pick a side one way or another. And I was
Yeah.
like, I get that. He's like, I agree with Icarus, but I don't want to murder you guys because you're my family. So I think I'm just going to go. And I'm like, I can respect that. Like, that's a
Yeah.
very human thing to do.
It sucked because his finger gun things were awesome.
yeah, yeah.
When he blew the head off of that one,
Yes.
when he charged it up, I was
Yes.
like, "What?"
Yes.
That was so
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
agree
loved
with
that
him.
there was still humor in it. It still felt like a Marvel movie to me because of that. I was really glad that Dane Whitman was not in it more. I feel like it
Yes.
completely would have taken away from the
Agreed.
movie. I think his role in that movie was to set up the character. Like that's and also to be like
A
the
human
grounding
Earth connection.
force for
Yeah.
Cersei. Though I constantly kept forgetting about their relationship.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because I was
Yes.
like, I think I want them to be together.
Yes.
I'm gonna sound like a super mom prude. I am not prudish. My kids are
Yeah,
allowed to
this was
cuss.
surprising.
But that was the second sex scene in the MCU. And boy, it took me by surprise. My hand, I was like, not now, Penny! Close your eyes! Sure, it was beautiful, I guess. I don't like sex scenes. Sex makes me like super uncomfortable. I love you so much. Like I'm like, Mike, don't talk to me like that. It's freaking me out.
Talk
Thank
nerdy to
God.
Bring me food and
Thank
let's talk
God
nerd
I am
stuff.
not the only one.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm like, please don't do anything romantic. Like, I will barf. I do
Instead,
not.
I will
I-
punch you in the face.
Instead, I buy her Loki bags, and that's why.
That
There
does
you go.
it.
Yeah.
Wash
There
the
you go.
dishes and buy me a Marvel
Yes.
Loungefly bag, and we're solid.
Yeah, that scene just was like.
Gosh, I understand that it was supposed to be beautiful and it was beautifully filmed, but oh God, I love that with the MCU, it is safe to bring my kids to, like
Right.
even my young kids. Like, you can't
At
bring
least
them to
historically.
Suicide Squad,
Right.
but like, I was not expecting that because it hasn't happened since Iron Man,
Right.
like
Two.
way back in the
Because
beginning.
Oh, yeah, it was Iron
Right.
Man 1, I think.
Yeah,
the
with
first
the-
And
one.
that wasn't even really like. It was like
No.
a 5-second, like, implied
Quick.
thing. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to have any discussions
Yeah.
leaving a Marvel film except like who was that character in the NSYNC. Please don't make me have that discussion leaving the movie theater.
Yeah. Well, let's go around the screens here and give ratings. Overall ratings and nerdies, 10 nerdies possible. What would you give them? We'll go in order as we talked. So, Lee, you can go first and give your nerdy score.
All right, mine's probably going to be one of the lowest, but I'm going to give it a 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
it
it's
came
gone
up.
up a little
That
bit.
It came up a little bit.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
A little bit. I mean, I was at like a 6, 6.5 before.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like, you know, I was listening to, like, Mario and I talked it out a little bit and stuff, and I was like, I'll give it a 7.
Okay. All right, Mario. What you got?
I'm sitting at an 8.5. I think it's a
Okay.
Wow.
Yours went up too.
Man, this is great.
like I said,
Wow.
beautiful movie. You know, I have my gripes with it. Some
8.5.
story pieces that I wish hit better. But all in all, I think it's great. I think it's going to be a great departure, and see where we go.
Sweet. All right, James.
Wow. Well, I'll be the lowest then, because I had mine's at a 6.5, 6. And the
Whoa.
0.5 is for Joaquin Makari, because I
Yes.
but I can't give a high score based off of potential. You know, well, it's going to do
Sure.
this and it's going to do that. I have to base it off of just what the movie brought and what it did with the pieces it had. So
Sure.
that's, in my opinion, that was 6.5.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, maybe I'm going back down to a 6.5. I'm not going to lie to you. Like,
James,
I saw,
influence.
listen, we were looking at the show notes, and I'm like, everybody else is at a 9. Oh my God, am I going to be the only asshole? And I don't really have anything to, like, back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't base it off potential, like, but you can base it off of how it make you felt knowing what it could potentially build to. And that feeling like was true to me in this movie. I'm actually surprised that I keep hearing that people didn't feel connected to some of the Eternals. Sure, not so much Cersei, but I was really connected and invested in some of these to where when they were fighting,
Yeah,
I was super nervous about people being killed off. When Gilgamesh died, even though he wasn't in it,
I felt way worse about Gilgamesh dying
Yeah.
than Dumbledore.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yo, Gilgamesh hurt me.
Me too.
Again,
No, I
he was
loved
by
him.
far one of my favorite ones. Him, Kango, and Joaquin Makari. I like
Yes.
Fastos, but like he wasn't into that much, so I really wasn't connected. So
The limited time they had to make me feel that invested in those side characters that really didn't have that much screen time is such a strength that I feel like outweighs that I didn't feel as connected with the face of the movie when I often don't really feel that connection anyway. I'm usually more invested in kind of the side plots like Superman. Like he's so boring to me. Like and those types of characters though, Icarus kind of is the comp to Superman, and I loved Icarus. So I don't know. I'm so confused. But I will say I felt super connected with some of these characters, and I was shocked to see that was one of the gripes. But basically, I left that movie trying to compare it, which one was higher on my list between that and Shang-Chi, because I liked it that much. I gave it a 9. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
wow.
Yeah.
I gave Shang-Chi a 9.5, so that does tell you I like Shang-Chi better. But
Yeah, I think I did too. Anyways, the only way that I can ever rate anything is how did it make me feel? I have ADHD hardcore. Could I sit through that movie? and be thinking I should get more butter on my popcorn, or like I wonder how sticky the floors of the bathroom are. If I can make it through, like without thinking through, like I did not for 1 second, like wonder how, like what time it was. I loved the movie. A lot of the plot holes that people are bringing up, I do not think are plot holes. I know that there are issues. That's why I give almost nothing ever a perfect score. I would easily, without question, would give it a 9. And I am so excited for it to come out so I can watch it like 1,400 times.
Yes.
I think I didn't stop checking my watch, to be fair. Like,
So,
every 10 minutes, I felt like I was checking my watch to see what time it was.
Thought, Lee.
Yeah.
If like there's a project coming out, like an MCU project where there's like a whole lot of characters, a good way to not feel overwhelmed is to listen to my segment on the podcast where we go over all the characters that you need to know going into the film.
Listen, I am a visual person. If I don't see it, it doesn't
I'm gonna
exist.
send you with like a ring of flashcards next time.
Yeah.
And it's
But
you
with
could just
pictures,
flip
I need the
through 'em.
pictures.
We
Yeah,
will include
it'll
I need
have a
pictures of
picture and then
everybody.
bullet points for you.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Gracious.
I'll say too, all of the comments have been about the Rotten Tomatoes scores. I never look at the critic scores because they just don't matter to me. It still is sitting at an 80%.
Yeah. From
Which
the
is
audience
which
score.
is
Audience
yeah
score
for
is
the
80.
audience score, which I think is still. I mean, it's a really solid score. I mean, Hocus Pocus was like an 18, and there's crap on every mug of every white girl in America with one of those witches on it, and it had an 18%. So
Yeah.
I'm like 80% is really good.
Yep.
Oh man, well there you have it, guys. That's the Eternals right there, man. Super exciting. Let us know your thoughts on the film itself as well. I'd love to hear from you guys, comment section, all that good stuff. So let's shoot through this nerdy news, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in a really short time. So
man.
each week we scour the headlines in the Nerdverse to bring you guys the best of the best of the best.
The best, sir.
Sir.
With honors.
Move over, J. Jonah Jameson. It's time for the Friggin' Nerds news.
So guys, we not only got a Spider-Man trailer, which we'll talk about briefly, go check out our YouTube reaction video. We not only got this Eternals conversation, but we had a humongous Disney Plus day that was full of announcements, mostly from Marvel. Star Wars was very absent from this for some reason. I was kind of surprised about that. But a lot of conversation got brought up. James actually threw this article out today. We shared it on our Discord about the subscriber count on Disney Plus dropping.
I was
over
so
the last
shocked
quarter.
about that. What's the deal with that?
Right. You've got me. I think it's just content production delays. I think there's some things that have caused that that drop.
Maybe normal people are going like outside again and stuff. COVID really didn't change our lives.
We are locked and loaded inside. But what I think that was a driving point with this Disney Plus day. I think they're trying to build this hype up, trying to get some of those subs back in and get the trend back in the right direction on Disney Plus, because they're trying to tackle Netflix. They're going after them pretty hardcore. So inside of the Disney Plus day, there was a lot of stuff towards the beginning of the morning. But the big stuff came from Marvel. We got all kinds of stuff. I think there was a total of like 16 shows / movies that they even like showed just the logos for, or even showed quick clips for. But they showed an extended look at Hawkeye, which is going to be the next thing that comes out in the Marvelverse. Guys, this comes out like in a week, right?
I know. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for this.
I was
I'm not
shocked.
going to lie to you.
I saw it was November 24th, and I was
So
going,
good.
what?
This week
Week
is
of
my
Thanksgiving.
birthday.
Yeah, it's
Did
your
you
birthday.
know that?
Yep.
Penny told me.
Yeah, it's
I
your
was like,
birthday.
what?
Aw.
But
I'm in my late 30s.
You are. You're
Oh
36 now.
no!
You're 36 now.
This is horrible.
Listen, you still have a few days. There's still
Yeah,
hope.
I'm gonna live it
your
up.
life, baby. Live your
Go
life.
ride the jet ski. You're good.
Right. I'm jazzed about this movie or this show, but it's not like high up on my list of like things I'm super excited about.
Oh, I'm hyped.
However, the scene that they showed in this extended look, this continuous car chase scene where they're spinning the camera around, it was one continuous shot throughout this super awesome car chase scene, had me super hyped. I was like, dude, this is looking good. If they're going to be doing stuff like that, because there's always those moments in these shows where they have that continuous scene. We love the Daredevil hallway scene.
Started with Daredevil. Yep.
So super hyped about that. I'm gonna fly through these, and then we can talk about whatever we want to talk about after I get through this. We saw brief first looks at Moon Knight. Super psyched about that. Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, though that was incredibly brief. It was just Mr. Fury in his grizzled beard.
Love the look.
Exactly.
Or is it?
Or is it? That's
Or
right. Is it Secret Invasion? Miss Marvel finally. Miss Marvel is the only like confirmed date that we saw in these announcements. A lot of everything just said like coming soon. But summer 2022 for Miss Marvel, and then they did some like logo reveals, updated logo reveals of some of the shows they've already talked about. However, they did announce 5 new shows coming out. Echo is one of those, which connects a lot of different things that we may want to talk about for a second. Spider-Man freshman year looks super fun. Is it going to be Tom Holland's origin story? Do we know that for sure?
No.
Because I do know they're saying it's like the origin story of.
I'm assuming it's going to be his
Spider-Man.
because we never got Tom's origin story, so I would like to see this in a cartoon form. I think.
It would
Also-
be kind of nice. Oh yeah.
Also, we got some tokens going in the swear jar. Mike has said the word
Oh no!
twice, 2 or 3 times, just on the last bit. So, Mario, you're going to replay that
Oh,
and
man.
get the tokens up on that one.
It's
so.
written on my show notes paper right there.
Oh, I got some editing to do.
You said it again.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I'm just
But
living
continue.
I'm living up to my typecast on the show. I get like.
I think,
90% of
listen,
that.
If this keeps going on, Mike, we're gonna have to start deducting from your draft points here to pay the bill.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Lee, keep down lock so we know the number.
Yeah.
Well, I was not.
Was that 3?
I was not hearing
James
it.
said he heard
Is
3.
it 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Yes, but carry on. Yes.
We also got, this was rumored, I think it may have been announced before, but we saw the logo.
Again.
4.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh! Agatha, House of Harkness, came out with a logo that looked super, super cool. There are some people that are like, what? Why? Why do we need Agatha? And I'm like, y'all shut up. She was
I'm like,
awesome.
you could shut your pie hole. Agatha's
Right.
awesome.
I think she got an Emmy.
Yes.
For that too.
Yep.
Han. So yeah.
And then last 2, Marvel Zombies, which is going to be a continuation of the What If storyline. And then X-Men 97, which is going to be a continuation of the 97 cartoon. All right,
Yes.
I'm opening up the floor. What do you guys want to talk about for a couple minutes?
What
before
are
we jump
y'all the most excited about? What do you not care about?
Mine real quick. Obviously, X-Men 97. Like that was my Saturday morning. Like I loved X-Men 97. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna look nowadays. Anything Spider-Man is gonna tickle my fancy. So I'm hyped for a freshman year. Moon Knight looks great, and honestly, Hawkeye is top tier for me because it's based on my favorite Hawkeye.
Really?
It's my favorite Hawkeye book.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
I've
that's,
heard a
it is
lot
supposed to be
about
great.
like
yeah.
it's my favorite
Yeah.
Hawkeye book, and like I for seeing those trailers, like it's all there. I like this because
They've got the bro guys
Tracksuit
and everything.
Mafia.
yeah, because I'm like because for years like I was always kind of disappointed with Hawkeye. I'm like, man, Hawkeye's cooler than this. Trust me, he's cooler than this. So like now
So
they're
is
finally doing
Echo-
it.
Is Echo going to spin off from Hawkeye, you think?
Well, Echo's going to be introduced in Hawkeye.
Yeah, so that's
Right.
definitely going to connect probably. So
She's deaf. and like Makari, and she's also
Isn't
our
she-
first Native American superhero.
Yeah, so we're gonna see that. I mean, and we're gonna see. We might see some more Daredevil in the future. So this all could come full circle. But who's gonna care because we have Celestials now? Anyways,
And nobody cares about your tracksuit mafia.
yeah, but that's what I'm excited about.
James, what are you excited about from this list?
Honestly, I'm excited and scared for X-Men 97. That's the one I just like, wait, what? How are we doing this? X-Men 97, like I was reading comics, but that kind of put me over the edge, the initial 90s run. Like that just, I was like, all right, Dad, what do you have of Wolverine, Nightcrawler, all these cats? Like, I want to read it. So that was my gateway into a lot of this stuff. Moon Knight as well. I'm interested to see how dark they're going to go, especially with the multiple personalities
The
stuff going on
darker,
with
the
Mark.
better.
Yes, especially with Mark Spector. So I hope they do that right. Oscar Isaac is just going to kill it. Like, he's amazing. Loved him in Dune. So I think he's going to kill it. But the other ones, Secret Invasion has a huge cast. But again, I wish it was a movie and not so much a TV show. So I'm hoping the budget kind of correlates with the cast that they have there. But the other ones, I'll just wait and see what happens. Agatha, House of Harkness, the title has mirrors of House of M. So I don't know if they're going to go that aspect, but I'm very interested to see how Han kills it with it. I think they're going to do it well, and I think the same, at least director or showrunner from WandaVision is doing this one. So that gives me hope for those. But the rest of them, I'm not too excited about. I'll just have to wait and see about those. But I think those are the top 4 for me.
Yeah.
You know what I was surprised to be excited about? Like, obviously I knew I would love like Agatha. Let's get super dark with Moonbeam. I have to tell y'all that's
Moon Knight.
related.
Yep.
I know, but it sounds like that
know.
Moonbeam song. Anyways, was She-Hulk, which I was like, this is so stupid. I don't want a She-Hulk series. But then I saw at the end of the She-Hulk trailer thing, they look like they're dressed in the 70s. Like straight up 70s clothes. It's like the poor TV quality 70s TV shows. She speaks directly to camera, much like they did in the 70s. And I was like, this feels like something really strange is going on here. Like WandaVision strange. And so I was like, okay, I didn't care
Strange.
anything.
Strange, you
So
say.
Strange.
So strange.
I didn't care anything about She-Hulk
And then you saw
until
that?
that happened, and I was like,
Interesting.
color me intrigued.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lee, what show are you looking forward to most out of this slate?
I have to say, I'm looking forward to the shows that I already know the characters for.
Doesn't
So
like new characters.
I don't like new characters. So I have to go with Agatha, House of Harkness, because we already know girl Agatha, and definitely Hawkeye. I'm like so excited for Hawkeye because I actually love him as a character, and
it's during Christmas. Like it's
it's
a
during Christmas.
show.
It reminds
it's gonna
me
be
of,
like something we can
Die
rewatch at
Hard.
Christmas.
Yes.
Like, every time I see it, it's all I think
Yeah,
of.
we're gonna roll this into our
Also,
Christmas
Mario, I think
marathon.
you should find it really encouraging that Lee doesn't like to scamper away to characters that she doesn't know. Because you know that she's just going to stay wrapped up in that ball of lovable Mario forever. 'Cause she doesn't like what she doesn't know.
That's true.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true. I don't like
goody.
new things.
Lucky you.
Oh man! Oh, real quick, there was some other announcement at Disney Plus Day. Star Wars again was kind of there. They did like a Boba Fett documentary,
Big Worm.
not Jabba the Hutt.
Not
Boba
Big
Fett,
Worm.
Big Worm boy.
Big bounty hunter.
BWB.
Which I'm fine with them doing that, but I'm also like, yo, your show comes out at the end of this year. Like, what?
Why are you not teasing the show? Why is
Well,
it a
we did get
documentary,
a
and why are you
trailer.
not teasing the
We did
show?
get a trailer.
But no, it should have been like Hawkeye, where they didn't like
Exactly.
little
a
extended
tease.
look. Right.
Exactly. Yo,
Okay.
they did that because Marvel pays the bills, and Star Wars is still kind of like
It's kind of on the
iffy,
back burner now.
amongst the fandom at least. So, yeah.
Gotcha. And then we also got a first look at Obi-Wan, which mainly was the concept art
Concept art, yeah.
that was released that caught my attention. I immediately sent a screenshot over to Mario, and I'm like, bro, because Vader and Obi-Wan are dueling again.
Again,
This is a story I wanted, man. Like real quick, like this is kind of based. There's a comic that came out like I think 2015. The Star Wars run through Marvel that kind of went like it was kind of the adventures after the original trilogy, and I think it's issue 7 where Luke finds a journal of Obi-Wan's, and so I think they actually have a book now that's the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But that one issue showed what he did when Luke was a kid. Like he's living on Tatooine. He can't use his Jedi powers. He's kind of like he's being a hermit, but he uses his powers a couple times. He's like trying to like get Luke into like building a speeder, but like Uncle Owen's like, don't do that, get away from him. I don't want to be like his father, stuff like that. So like right there, I'm like, I remember reading that when it came out in 2015. I'm like, this would be a great movie. And now they're bringing the show, and it looks like they're gonna take some aspects from the concept art, and for what like it looks like they're trying to like show us. So I'm super excited. You know me, Star Wars is number one for me, so I'm very excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm most excited about Obi-Wan out of all the news, like everything. Because I've always said I feel like Marvel needs to scale down, but that's not going to happen because of what's going on with Disney Plus. But Obi-Wan, like by far, everybody's coming back, and that has me the most excited just based off potential. So we'll see what happens.
Yes.
I'm so confused though, because like last year at this time they had the same amount of announcements on the screen that Marvel did, but for whatever reason they are not pushing anything. And I would love to talk about other things than Marvel, on this show. But like, especially Star Wars, I know you're not like super thrilled about that, but
Not. I just haven't
I think
ready.
stumbled in there yet.
To
And
be
now
fair-
James is here, so I'm stumbling into DC.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
gonna
haven't
To be fair-
stumbled in there yet.
Maybe next week we can talk a little bit of Harry Potter because we definitely have some 20th anniversary stuff that's been
oh
dropping.
yeah,
So
they did drop that. Yep, but would love to see some Fantastic Beast news. I mean,
I know
there's
something,
Where are all
anything
the
but
other
Marvel.
We,
Give
all
me
the other
something
news?
else.
we can't help it, Lee. It's all Marvel all the
I
time.
need something else.
Speaking of that, we got a trailer tonight, and we're gonna very briefly talk about it because
yeah,
you can
let's
Do-
be
see.
brief.
You can
Should we
see-
just tell them to go watch our reaction video?
Yep, go watch our
honestly,
reaction
go
video.
watch. I'm sure.
That's this podcast is
Yeah, I
already.
mean, I'll say this. I mean, no, with this trailer dropping and all this going on, I'm sure you're going to see some more content with this movie. We're going to probably break down some stuff. Why talk some more Spider-Man? We're going to get hype for Spider-Man this month for sure. It's going to be a huge show. If you guys haven't checked it out already, youtube.com/Friggin Nerds Media. Check out our reaction and stay tuned for more Spider-Man news.
Yeah.
And that leads us now to the ending of the podcast.
Draft time, boys.
The way that we always end all of our podcasts.
Oh God, I'm so nervous.
Oh no!
We talked about it. We've been talking about all these Marvel shows and stuff popping up on Disney Plus. We decided that it would be a great topic to draft Marvel TV shows of all existence.
Yes.
We're talking the Disney Plus shows, which are going to be popular picks right now. We're talking all of the Netflix shows. We're talking 90s cartoons.
Yes.
We're talking old school Hulk. Like there's such a wide variety
Oh, so
of
we can do.
possibilities.
I didn't know that you could do cartoons too.
We're
Yeah.
in animated too, baby. Yep.
Yep.
Well, mainly because we have 5 now. We have to have 20 options to draft. So we have to stretch. We have to stretch some of these options out for sure. So yeah, we're hitting everything. This is all existence, Marvel, boom. So, as we said earlier in the podcast, this is the beginning of season 3 of our nonsense draft. Britt is the lovely champion of season 2. Congratulations again.
Yeah.
And just for those that aren't familiar too much with this format, this is a fantasy football style draft where we pick completely off the wall teams relating to the this week's topic, which is Marvel TV shows. And you guys get to pick who wins out of the 5 of us. So check out our Twitter page after this, after you listen to this, to go vote for who you thought drafted the best Marvel TV shows in existence. So with that,
Get your big 20s out, everybody. It's time to roll for initiative.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
I'm usually listening to
Actually,
this. Now,
Now he's a part of it. Dreams do come true, James.
if this is a whole man.
and I rolled,
Woo! 16.
I'm at 12.
I'm at 9 or 6. Whatever that
Is
is.
there a dot under it?
No, there's no dot.
Oh. 9,
I'll say
I think.
it's 9. That's 9.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled pretty good today. What'd you roll? Did you roll a 20? Yo,
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
I think I
Uh-oh.
usually am like a crit roller.
Britt rolled a 20. I rolled a 15.
Well, we know what shows
Woo!
off
Okay,
the board
great.
immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so cross that one off. At
Yeah.
least I can
Yeah.
get my second
it's,
choice.
it's definitely going to be Japanese Spider-Man.
Clearly.
How did you know that? You've been looking at my sheet.
All
Okay,
right.
let
So
me
what's
get
the-
our order
yeah, what's the
really
order?
quick, guys. All right, what are our numbers? I'm gonna assume I'm first unless
Yeah.
somebody else
I'm
got
at,
a 20.
I'm at 12.
I'm at 16.
Oh, Lee beat me by 1. I'm a 15.
Ha
James,
I'm
what are you?
last. I'm
Say
last.
goodbye to your second choice.
Okay, Brett, Lee,
Right.
Mike. Right? Mike, and then
Correct.
Mario, and then James.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right, Britt. What
Time to
is?
get started.
Can we guess what your first pick is?
You gonna grab it?
Yeah. Do you just want me to grab it? All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. For the number 1 pick in the
For
draft.
the podcast listeners.
Oh my gosh.
my future husband, my children's future stepfather. It's got to be Loki. It's got to be Loki.
Oh my God.
It's got to be Loki.
It's gotta be.
Oh,
Not even a question.
Not
No.
a
Right.
question.
No surprise there with that.
none.
All right, on to the next.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know very many Marvel shows, okay? But there is one that happens to be probably the most popular besides Loki on our podcast. And that, my friends, would be WandaVision.
Dang it! I was
So
hoping to
bye-bye,
have the
WandaVision.
second pick. That was totally going to be my second pick. Or
I had a
my-
feeling.
My first pick in the second spot. Darn.
Sorry.
All right, so I look. I feel like I gotta look. I watched some of the Netflix shows, okay, but there is one show that I just love. I love this superhero. He's such a cool character. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil, off the list.
Oh, man.
So grabbing that. Mainly, I mean, they won me over in that first season. So
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
bring him back to the MCU.
Please.
Oh, man.
Please.
All right.
All right, Mario.
I don't think anybody, maybe James would have this on his list. I don't know who would have, maybe Mike too. I got to go with another one, a part of my Saturday morning cartoons. I got to go with Spider-Man, the animated series.
Bro,
Yep.
dang it!
Yeah.
Mike,
That was my jam.
That was not going to
Mike Pop Quiz, who played the theme song.
Oh man. Crap.
shoot.
You pop quizzed me on this one.
I pop
I
quizzed
know.
them at Universal.
You pop quizzed me. I do know that Aerosmith did. Was it Joe Perry? It was Joe Perry.
Joe
wasn't it?
Perry did the guitar for the original cartoon, and then for the first Rain movie, Aerosmith did the cover of the theme song.
That's where I remembered it, and I remember you saying it was Joe Perry.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Yes.
Beautiful. Spider-Man.
Oh man. Okay. So I got the last pick. So this is a snake draft. So
get
then
two.
I'll
You get
be
two
picking my
back-to-back.
second pick. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
my first pick is like no brainer since all Daredevil was going to be my number one. But my second one is still on the board, and that's the X-Men animated series.
Wow.
I just wrote that down.
Two
So-
animated series off the board.
Yeah, classic. So that's my number one. So I'm cool with that. I'm treating this draft not so much as a James trying to win, but hopefully my picks might intrigue the audience into watching some of these shows.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
And
like it.
my
an agenda.
Yes, and my next one is going to be Legion on FX.
Oh.
All right.
Oh,
One of the best produced, made, even storylines I have ever seen for a comic book TV show. Definitely go check it out. Again, it's on FX, but Legion is going to be my second pick.
Nice.
Okay. Very nice. Man, that's good.
That brings us back to Mario.
All right. This one. I think this one for sure. It's kind of my number one for a lot of Marvel in general. I think I talked about it on the show before. Great soundtrack, killer cast, just an awesome show all around.
I know where you're going.
Gotta go,
I know where you're
Luke
going.
Cage.
I knew it.
I just rewatched it. I love that show.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Sweet
Is
Christmas.
it? Oh, it's me now. Oh no. Oh geez. Okay. So the animated shows went, and I was hoping to get one of the two, with the second pick, and that's not happening now. I think I'm trying to debate which of these two I want to draft, and I think just because of we had a really good experience with the watch party on this one. It was one of the we haven't like had the watch party in a bit, and I feel like we need to bring that back. And
know.
Absolutely.
and because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Falcon and the Winter Soldier off the board.
To be fair, when Friggin Nerds Media was born, we were on vacation and we watched the first episode
We did.
all
did.
together in the same house. It's the only time that we've
Yes.
ever been in the same
On
place together.
the most
Yep.
uncomfortable sofa.
Yes.
Ever.
in any Airbnb.
Oh yeah, I was just like so stiff.
That I managed to
so
fall
bad.
asleep on.
Very true.
So,
Yeah.
But
That's right.
it had some really awesome moments. I loved
It,
Crab Cap.
it won awards.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And Bucky had a store-bought cake.
you went full circle on Bucky in that
I
whole
know.
show.
Who would have thought
Wow.
Right?
we'd see the day that
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate old Whiner McGee.
I would have never thought.
All right,
Never
Falcon
would've
and
thought.
Soldier.
All right, Lee.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. I recently am a Marvel fan, right? So I don't know a lot of these other shows, but I have heard of them. I know Mario's talked about Luke Cage. My brothers told me about a couple. I think even maybe my mom has watched a couple that I haven't seen. So I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna go out on a limb. So don't take this as personal recommendations because I haven't seen them. But I'm gonna go with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
for one of them. I've heard really good things about that.
That's a good one.
Shields.
And
You have one pick right now, so don't give your next one away.
No,
Okay.
she's the roundabout, isn't she?
no,
Oh, no,
no,
you're
I'm
the
sorry,
roundabout.
I'm
No,
not.
that's
British.
That's why I was
British.
like, don't
I
give
got
your
convi-
pick away.
Listen, I'm used to the 4 people in the
know,
draft,
I know.
and I'm like so
Same.
screwed up right now. Okay.
all right, good pick.
Yeah, hold it in.
I'm-
Okay. I'm
took my
really
pick, Lee.
surprised it got
Sorry.
back to me. But I'm gonna take What If.
That was the other one. I couldn't decide between the
I was
two.
kind of shocked that made it to me. And then I'm gonna take, between like two of them. Okay, so I remember watching like reruns all the time of this at my babysitter's, like growing up. So I'm gonna take The Incredible Hulk from the 80s.
No.
Because like it's part of like what reminds me of like being an 80s kid.
Nice.
Quick story: Lou Ferrigno was at RI Comic Con, and have we told you the story about the big blue bug that's in Rhode Island?
No, I
Like
don't think so.
it's like our staple. It's a big blue bug like on like the pest.
Literally,
yeah, it's like the pest
it's
control.
a
thing.
pest control
We'll put a
place.
picture on the Discord, but like they painted it as the Incredible
Actually,
Hulk.
put it on the podcast even.
Yeah, but they painted it as the Incredible Hulk, and Lou Ferrigno took pictures outside of it and stuff. It was really cool.
Ah,
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome.
Facts.
Who's next?
All right.
Is it my turn now?
Now it is. Now
Back
it
to
is.
Lee.
You're on your third
Okay. Here's the thing. Like I said, never watched the I didn't watch them as a kid. I just wasn't, Saturday morning cartoons. Mine was like the Nickelodeons. I didn't do so much
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Marvel. But so I'm gonna continue with the more recent shows, and I'm gonna go with Jessica Jones.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
okay.
That's a good one.
A lot of people love Jessica Jones.
It's a
Yes,
that's
it
a
was
good,
good.
one. I think it had 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It says it went from 2015, 3 seasons.
The 3?
Oh man.
Yeah,
3? Wow.
2015 to 2019.
Wow.
I hope they're not including the Defenders. They might include the Defenders.
No, that's separate on
Oh,
here
wow.
anyway. Yeah,
Nice.
it's 3 seasons of just
Yeah, it's 3
Jessica
seasons,
Jones.
yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
All right.
think-
All right, who's next?
I think I'm gonna go. This is another hope that they bring this person into the MCU. He pairs very well with Daredevil, and the casting was perfect.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Especially how much he was hated on The Walking Dead. It was amazing. I love the actor. I'm going with the Punisher.
Man.
Punisher is my. I hate that
Yeah.
I'm double dipping kind of in the same type of show, but it's okay. I've got to go with Punisher.
You're gonna get a certain type of vote.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
there you go.
Dude, if they bring him in to the MCU too,
I just want Kingpin. I just want Daredevil's version of Kingpin. He would fit so nicely with Spider-Man too.
And
But anyway.
Echo is Kingpin's adopted daughter.
Yep.
Yep.
Very interesting.
All right, Mario, you're on
Okay.
your third pick.
Man, this is tough now. All right. All right, since I guess I'll kind of double dip myself. It was kind of on my list, but it was low. I did enjoy this show. You know, I wasn't a fan of Iron Fist, but I think this version of Iron Fist was better. I'm gonna go Defenders.
Defenders. Okay.
He
good
was
one.
better in Defenders than the solo show. So
Yeah,
it's like,
his solo one. Yeah, for sure.
rough. Oh, it's so tough, man.
Oh, okay. We're getting into the nitty gritty now.
Yeah.
I know.
Deep cuts.
And we get
There's not
4
too much left.
and we get
We
4
get
total,
4
right?
total.
4 total picks.
Yeah,
So
so
these
you're
are my
on
last
your
two.
last two.
Okay. So, this is also one I would suggest everyone watch. And again, it got really good reviews. The Runaways is
That's
on
the
Hulu.
one I was just
Yes.
about to
It's
say.
on Hulu,
Yeah.
and it's great. The concept is their kids and their parents, a group of kids. You find out their parents are supervillains, and the group, I think it's like called Pride or whatever, but they're running away from their parents and trying to stop them at the same time. And there's, I think in season 3, they fought Morgan Le Fay, which we were talking about earlier. Black Knight is connected to there because she's from the Camelot era and connected with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch because I think she mastered mystic magic or whatever. So there's a lot of connections there that I hope Marvel will take advantage of, at least in the MCU. And then last one is going to be a personal favorite of mine. And this one's X-Men Evolutions, another
Dang it.
animated one.
Bro, that was on my list, man.
Yo, yo.
Well, that makes my
just-
pick easy then.
I love
my
that.
last one.
Love the show. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
personal
two
one of
like
mine.
my last two.
I couldn't
picks.
decide between that and what I hopefully will get.
Yeah.
So
It was
Alright,
either
well,
that
he's done.
or Spider-Man, the new animated series that only had 1 season on MTV.
I remember
It was
that.
in like computer graphics.
That was
Yeah,
that was a cool show. Yeah.
it was.
got through.
All right,
got through
well, Mario.
Through
I know,
Mario.
I'm
I know that
so-
threw you, but you're up for your fourth pick there, friend.
Your TV shows, right? TV shows. Oh my god.
There's still a lot out there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the
There's a
ones.
few more. I know there's a few more in the Netflix
Mm-hmm.
realm.
Yeah.
And animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ABC, actually.
Yeah. A couple come to mind. ABC.
Oh man, now I don't know what to pick.
Man.
Oh, let's see what Mario does here. Let's hopefully it makes my pick easy.
Let's see. I'll go over that. I doubled no, because I'm gonna lose, man. I don't know.
I love it.
I'm at the point where I don't know who I'm gonna impress here.
I know who my last one is. I'm just hoping no one takes it.
Do you?
Just trying to remember who took what, because I don't want to take someone else's pick again. Lee, what were your picks so far?
He's trying to snipe picks
Lee
now.
has
Look at that.
WandaVision, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Jessica Jones.
Those are good ones right there.
Yeah, that's a good solid team.
Oh, wait, did anybody pick Agent Carter?
Not yet.
I'll take Agent Carter.
Shit.
All three of the rest of us did not want to answer that question.
I didn't even think it. I was like, wait a minute, no one picked Agent Carter yet.
Was that who you were going for too?
Yeah,
that was who I was
the
going
one.
for.
I was like,
I
I guess
had it.
nobody wants Agent Carter.
I had her on my
Come
list
on.
and I forgot about her. And then when James said ABC, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was like,
Nuts, man.
I thought someone picked that for some reason. Damn.
yo,
Agent Shield,
Dang,
I must have
what
got confused with Agent Shield. Because someone picked Agents,
That's
right?
probably what it is.
Yeah. All right, that's my
all right. I'm gonna go with the animated show that Micah and I watched together when he was a kid. Just for nostalgia purposes, I loved watching the Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He would have been like 7 at the
He
time.
he had underwear with.
Yes.
He used to run around the house with that.
So
His underwear all the
Avengers,
time.
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes is my selection. That goes to Lee now.
Man.
With no Agent Carter on the board. I was surprised that she was still there.
Yeah, just based off popularity. Yeah,
Bluff.
for sure. I couldn't pull the trigger. My heart couldn't.
Damn.
wasn't in it.
Okay, I have problems here. Just can I ask a question? Because again, I have no frame of reference here.
Yeah.
Were the Fantastic Four cartoons as terrible as the movies?
Oh, come on. It depends on which
What
one
a
you're talking
question.
about. I mean, what's Fantastic Four cartoon? There's a couple I remember that were like okay.
So yes, they were as terrible as the movies.
I don't know. The movies are pretty bad.
I legit haven't
Yeah.
watched them since I was a kid, so I mean, I thought everything was awesome as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't say as terrible as the movies because I think they at least did the Fantastic Four decently, and there's a lot of cameos. But as you can see, the show didn't really last that long.
Yeah.
So
All right, we're going with Cloak and Dagger then.
Oh,
that's the one. That's the one
one.
I was waiting on somebody to pick.
That's the only other one really that's like left on the possibilities list that I was like, that was one I considered watching that I haven't gotten around to yet.
The
I
name
love that trailer.
alone would get a vote for me. I'd be like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, well, now I'm down to like Lee status on these. But I can appreciate nothing more than mid-century. That's how I decorate my whole house. So I'm gonna go way back to that time and go Fantastic Four from the 1960s
Oh, wow.
because I appreciated it.
So I guess we're gonna find out if they're as bad as the movies by how people
my
vote on this
God.
draft.
There you
the
go.
live action one from the 60s talking about, the old one?
Yeah,
That one's fun.
There was an animated one in the 60s.
The live action one's
So you're
kind of
doing-
fun.
Are you doing the animated one or the live action one?
There was a live action.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I rewatched it with my buddies not too long
I
ago.
don't.
Wait, are you talking about the movie or the show? I don't.
There's an animated show.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Was
don't
there
know
a
about
live
the
action
live
one?
action.
I don't know about a
show.
live action show. Maybe you're thinking of a movie.
The live
Mario.
action one
Think
might
about
be
the
is a
old
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going animated show from the
From
60s.
yeah, see, look at them in their cute little outfits.
Oh, yeah, that looks
Super Friends style.
Super Friends, baby.
Right, and there it is.
Nice. There's it. You want to read the teams off real quick, and then we can close this out.
Yep. Okay, so I've got my boy Loki. What if the Incredible Hulk from the 80s and the Fantastic Four from the 60s? What a journey we've been on.
You got the two newest shows.
Britt's already.
and like the super old
oldest.
shows.
Yep.
And Lee's got WandaVision, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jessica Jones, and Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger.
That's
was
a good.
pick,
That's a
yeah.
solid team.
Mike's
It's
got
all very new
Daredevil,
school though.
Yeah.
But people,
That could get
if
you
they're
votes,
not
so-
people like like James and Mario and Mike,
Mm-hmm.
though, they'll pick the ones where they recognize.
They've heard
The
it.
name.
Yep.
Yep.
Like
Here's
Agent
hoping.
Carter.
Right.
Shit.
Mike has Daredevil, Falcon and Winter Soldier, The Punisher, and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which put out some great tidy-whitey merch.
Tidy whitey underwear. Yep, that's right.
Even our dog had a pair.
That's right. I do remember.
She would run around in the neighborhood with matching underwear with Mike.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. Mario has Spider-Man the Animated Series, Luke Cage,
Sweet Christmas.
The Defenders, and Agent Carter,
Beautiful.
which killed us all there at the end.
Yep.
And our newcomer James has X-Men the Animated Series, Legion, The Runaways, and X-Men Evolution.
Double dip.
Now,
Yes.
I started to think because it was James' first draft that we should have given him the first pick. But like,
He would have come
No.
for my boy Loki.
the
I
team-
saw,
He would have
I saw
come for
him-
us.
I saw him giving Loki the winky eye.
No, that wouldn't have been my first one. All deep cuts. All my stuff is going to be deep cuts.
Yeah.
You know who's
Yeah, I
gonna
think
Mario?
the fact-
You know who's gonna appreciate that is Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Alex is gonna appreciate the heck out of James being
Deep
on this
cuts.
podcast. My brother is like all about the deep
Yes,
cuts.
Yeah.
yes, sir. But ladies and gentlemen,
I'd
that
take a deep cut from Loki.
my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Wow.
god.
See you guys next week. I'm friggin' Nerds.
Welcome to the show, James.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, ladies,
I like it.
ladies,
I like it.
ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at Mario's
There's a drop
face.
for the soundboard for you right there.
Listen, are we? We haven't talked about how we're doing this end either.
Oh, yeah.
How are we doing our closeout? Are we gonna still sandwich the girls in between?
Oh, yeah, we got
You'll have to go Mario, James, Lee, Mike, Britt, and it'll sort of still run.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I
that
don't know what to do.
You just say I'm
Mario,
friggin'
then
Nerd
James.
Okay.
After Mario.
all you gotta do is remember your name, James, and you're good.
Okay.
So, ladies and
Friggin'
gentlemen,
nerd James.
this has been somehow the Friggin' Nerds podcast for the week. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, be sure to follow us on all the social medias. Hit us up on YouTube. Got all the cool content coming out there. Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. Hit us up on Discord. We hang out, talk nerdy stuff off the cuff there. And we'll love to see you guys. We'll still be on Twitch, twitch.tv/Friggin Nerds Media with your crafts and cocktails, your D&D, and other fun stuff throughout the week. To stay locked and loaded on the Twitter to know any updates. As always, I am your host, Mario Lima.
I'm Friggin' Nerd James.
I'm friggin' nerd
Oh,
Lee.
there it is.
Don't forget our mic.
I'm friggin' Nerds
And you
B!
guys have been friggin' awesome. And as always, stay
Stay friggin' nerdy.